Good morning, team. Today we're going to learn how to round two-digit numbers to the nearest 10. First thing we're going to look at is what does that actually mean. When we talk about to the nearest 10, we're talking about multiples of 10 or tidy numbers. And if you look down to the left-hand side of the screen, I have written down all of the multiples of 10 or tidy numbers to 100. And if you look carefully, you might see the pattern. Yes, they all end in a 0, which is going to be very helpful for us. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to decide, whether we round up or down. So let's have a look at a number and put that into place. So here we have 48. Okay, now number 48, and why I've put it up here with showing the tens and the ones, that it's really important that we know that is tens and ones, because it's really important, especially in the ones column. Gives us a big clue about where we go, whether we round up or down. Okay, so what we need to do is decide whether 48 we round up to 50 or down to 40. So if I just zoom this up a little bit like this and move this over, 48 is going to fit in somewhere around about here, isn't it? And you might already be able to tell that 48 is closer to 50 than it is to 40. So 48, yes, we would round it up to 50. Now that's one way of doing it, is just by working out whether or not it's closest, or working out which one it's closest to. But if you look at these arrows I have down here, there's two arrows. The first arrow we'll look at is pointing up, and inside the arrow we have the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, what that means is that if we're looking at the number in the ones place, if the number in the ones place is one of these numbers, we always round up. Okay, so as you can see, 8 is in the ones column, so we must round up. Now if we look at this arrow pointing down, we have the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and it's pointing down. So if the number in the ones column was 4, 3, 2, 1 or 0, we would round down. So let's just have a look at another number and see how that works. Okay, we have 24 here. 24, let's look at the number in the ones column, and as you can see, it's in the arrow pointing down. So 24 rounded to the nearest tens would be 20. Right. Now, if we were to have a look at another number such as 65, okay, 65, and we put it in here, you would probably recognise that 65 actually goes right in the middle between 60 and 70. So it can be difficult to work out which way does it go. Which way does it go? Well, we use the Swedish rounding system, which means that when it's a 5, you always round up. Okay, and to help you out here, we have the 5 and the arrow pointing up, and these are 5 in the ones column, so that means that 65 would be 70. Right. Okay. Okay, now that you have got an idea of how to round, I'm going to show you some more numbers, and also we'll talk about why we round. Okay, so let's have a look at another number, 37. Okay, 37. It's really important that we keep referring to the number in the ones column here, and then looking at our arrow, and as you can see, 7, we always round up. So the answer would be 37 rounded would be, thank you, it would be 40. Okay. You may be thinking, when do we need to round in real life? Well, that's a good question, and it's actually a really simple answer. When we go and spend money at a shop, the shopkeeper will quite often round up or down depending on the price of an item that you're buying. So if you were to buy an item that cost you 53 cents, could be a lolly, okay, we don't actually have 2 or 1 cent coins, or we don't even have 5 cent coins anymore, so it's actually impossible to pay 53 cents. So what the shopkeeper will do is that he would have to round this price down, because the number in the ones column is a 3, and he would round it down to 50 cents, which is good for the person that's paying the money. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example where it actually works in the shopkeeper's favour. So if you were to buy an item that cost you 96 cents, okay, once again, we can't pay 6 cents because there's no 5 cent coins, or there is no 1 or 2 cent coins. So looking at here, the shopkeeper would actually round that up, and 96 rounded up to the nearest 10 would be $1 or 100 if we're rounding it up in numbers. So not so good for the person that's paying the money, but quite good if you're the shopkeeper. Right. What I want you to do now is, on the next page, I'm going to put some numbers up on the whiteboard, and I want you to try and round these numbers using the arrows to help you, and also help using these multiples of 10 down the side to also guide you and help you. Thank you. Okay team, so here are your numbers that I want you to have a go at rounding. Couple of pointers: always look at the number in the ones digit, and I've put it under the title here, ones. Okay, and always you refer to these here, the multiples of 10, to decide whether you're going up or down, and these arrows, remember, help you. So if the number in the ones column is a 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we always round up. If it's a 4, 3, 2, 1 or 0, we just round down. Number 20 here, I've put a thrown in here just to see how you deal with that. Refer to this, we round down, but when we say we round down, we don't actually have to round down because it actually already is a tidy number. Okay, all the best. If you have any questions, please ask.